Hi everyone, this is Dan and this is Unit 2 Video Transportation for TOEIC for Careers 402 Skype class. Okay, so in this video you will need your textbook, your notebook, pencil, cell phone, and or computer. Okay, so please take notes, okay, and you can stop, rewind, fast forward this video as much as you like, but please watch it before next class. Please take the notes and write down the questions and answer the questions for the unit video. Okay, so there's a lot to do, and just a real quick review of Unit 1 shopping. So here are the words for Unit 1 shopping. You have aisle, receipt, sales clerk, brand new, reasonable, purchase, purse, assortment, expensive, and value. Okay, so for the Unit 1 quiz that I hope everyone did, I put the answers of the skill building and the mock reading test in the description of this video. Okay, so please go back and check your answers. Okay, for the Unit 1 skill building and mock reading test, I put the answers in the description of this video. Okay, so please check that. Alright, so Unit 2, what is Unit 2 about? Unit 2 is about transportation. Okay, so I have 3 warm-up questions that I'd like you to write down and answer for Monday's class. Okay, so let's begin. Okay, warm-up question number 1. Please write down and answer, okay? So, number 1. How do you usually come to school? How do you usually come to school? Okay, number 2. If you went to Tokyo, how would you go? If you went to Tokyo, how would you go? Okay, question number 3, I'm going to show you some pictures, and I would like to ask you, what are these people doing? Okay, what are these people doing? So, picture 1 is this one. Okay, can you see? Okay, what is she doing? What is she doing? Okay, she's a very famous person. Okay, as a bonus question, do you know who she is? Okay, next one. What is he doing? What is he doing? What is he doing? Okay. Next one. What are they doing? What are they doing? Okay. What are they doing? Okay. And picture number 4, what are they doing? What are they doing? This is a picture from Kamogawa, actually. Okay? What are they doing? Okay? To answer these questions, I've put the warm-up questions in the description in the video, but I'd like you to answer your questions, okay? And prepare your answers for Monday's class, and please ask me questions number 1 and number 2. And for question number 2, you can change Tokyo to something else. So for my case, I'm not living in Tokyo, but now I'm living in Australia, so you can ask me a different question. Okay, so warm-up questions again. How do you usually come to school? If you went to Tokyo, how would you go? And number 3, what are these people doing? Okay, and who is this woman here? She's a very famous person. Okay, all right, so let's move on to the vocabulary activity. So please open your books, okay, to page 36, and we're going to do the same activity as the Unit 1 video. So I will provide the answers to the vocabulary section, but I will not go in order, so please listen and write down, scan for the the word and the definition and write down the word. Okay? So, number one. Okay? Number one. Okay? A sidewalk is a paved footpath beside a street. Okay? Sidewalk is a paved footpath beside a street. Number two. Okay? A vehicle is a machine that carries passengers and goods. A vehicle is a machine that carries passengers and goods. Okay, number three. Stretch is going from one side to the other. Okay? Stretch is to go from one side to the other. Okay? Number four. A pedestrian is a person who walks on the street. Okay? A pedestrian is a person who walks on the street. Okay? Or sidewalk. Okay? Number five. A curb is the edging of a sidewalk. It's usually made of stones or cement, concrete. Okay? A curb is usually the edging of a sidewalk made of stones or cement, concrete. Okay, number six. Scatter is to throw about irregularly. So I scatter some dice. I scatter some chips. Okay. Scatter. Okay. Number seven. Pavement is an area of ground covered with concrete or asphalt. Okay. Pavement is an area of ground covered with concrete or asphalt, usually on a sidewalk or a street. Okay. Okay, number eight. A hydrant is an outdoor pipe for supplying a large amount of water. Okay? A hydrant is an outdoor pipe for supplying a large amount of water. Okay, number nine. A load or to load is to put something into a space for carrying or holding, right? So I'm loading up a truck. I'm loading my car with all my suitcases and backpacks, okay? So, and that's a load. That can be used as a verb or a noun. To load, to put something into a space for carrying or holding, right? Loading a truck, loading a car, right? Okay. You can load a dishwasher. Okay. All right. And number 10. A wheelchair is a rolling chair used by people who cannot usually walk. Okay, so you can roll. Have you ever sat in a wheelchair and tried to move around? It's very difficult. Okay. Okay. So that's vocabulary building. Okay, so you should have written the order in which I said them. Okay, and you should have written out the words. Okay, so that's the vocabulary activity. Let's move on to the grammar activity. Okay, grammar activity. Okay, basically I'm going to talk a little bit about the grammar in this unit. Okay, in this unit covers progressive tenses. Okay, progressive tenses. There is a link in the video description in Japanese, but basically it's ginzai shinko-kei, okay, kako shinko-kei, and mirai shinko-kei. Okay, three progressive tenses. Okay, so questions. Okay, these might be questions I ask on the speaking test or in the quiz, on the online quiz. So please write them down. Okay, number one, when is the present progressive used? So if you look in your text, right, present progressive, okay, the form of the present progressive is be verb plus present participle, okay, a verb ending in ing, okay. So the question asks when, okay, is the present used, okay. So it's used in the following situations. 6 situations, right? Actions that are in progress, happening now. Number 2, a temporary situation, so 一時的なことですね. Okay. Number 3, events in the near future, maybe gonna happen in a couple minutes, maybe a half an hour, something like that. Number 4, common actions or trends. Okay. Number 5, repeated actions. So something you do over and over again. And number 6, kind of approach to a certain point. Okay. So stative verbs such as live, know, and understand do not normally take a present progressive form. Okay. Question number 2. What do you use to make the past progressive? What do you use to make the past progressive? Okay, so the answer is right there. Simply use the past tense of the be verb, okay, and the verb plus the present participle ing, okay. And you can express those in an action progressing in the past, an action which continued for a long time in the past, an action that wasn't completed, or a polite request. Okay, next is future. Okay, future progressive. So what 2 forms can you use for the future progressive? Okay, so the form of the future progressive usually is will be plus ing, or you can use be going to be ing. Okay, so in your notebook, okay, please write down these notes. Okay, present progressive, see the example sentence, the man is reading a book on the bench. Okay, past progressive, I was watching TV when he called. Future progressive, she will be leaving Japan in a couple weeks. And then at the bottom you can see a kind of a conceptual representation of the past, present, and future progressives. Okay, so I have 3 examples of each one of each progressive sentence form. Okay, so three sentences. Okay, so please write them down. Okay, and after each sentence, okay, write present, past, or future. Okay, which one? Okay, which one is it? Okay, which one? Okay, so number 1, okay, which is it? Present, past, or future? Please write. I was drinking coffee when he called. I was drinking coffee when he called. Okay, what is that? Is that present? Is that past? Is that future? Okay. All right, number 2. The woman is reading a book at the cafe. The woman is reading a book at the cafe. Past, present, future? Okay, number 3. They will be leaving Australia in a couple of days. They will be leaving Australia in a couple of days. Okay, past, present, future. Okay, I might ask you on a quiz or in the speaking test what your answers are. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, I'd like to go on to the tactics for part 1 and the tactics for part 5 in your book on page 37 and page 40. Briefly just make some comments about that. So I hope you're reading these tactics for each unit and for each part of the TOEIC test. Okay, these tactics, these kind of strategies, okay, are very useful in learning how to take the TOEIC test and scoring better. Okay, but you have to study, you have to write notes. Okay, so page 37. Okay, tactics for part 1. It's basically how you get prepared for listening to part 1, which is the photographs, okay? And you have 5 seconds between each of the questions, so when you see the next picture on your test, you can see, you can make a judgment, okay? 判断できるんですね. So A, if one person is in the picture. B, if 2 people of the same sex are in the picture, what happens? C, if a man and a woman are in a picture. D, if one object is featured in the picture, kind of like main, something big, kind of the main thing. Or E, if many people or things are in the picture, okay? So if there are 2 people, look at their clothes, right? See what they're wearing. What are they doing, okay? What are they doing? That's the main thing. What are the people doing, okay? So go through the tactics for part 1, and then try the skill building exercise if you can. We can do that in class, next class, okay? So take notes on the tactics for part 1, okay? Okay, moving on, I'm going to skip through the listening mock test. We'll do that in class. So tactics for part 5, okay? So these are vocabulary questions regarding nouns, okay? Nouns, 名詞ですね, okay? So when your 4 choices in the reading section are nouns, okay, you can kind of use these 2 tactics, okay? So tactic 1, what is tactic 1? Okay, write down in your notes, right? Check an article before the blank, okay? Check to see if it's an A or an and, right? Because then you can have countable, okay? Will fit into the blank. But if you don't see an or an and, maybe an uncountable noun will fit, okay? So these are the frequently used uncountable nouns. I'm going to go through these. Please repeat, okay? 繰り返しましょう. Let's repeat, okay? Advice, attire, baggage, behavior, equipment, furniture, information, jewelry, knowledge, luggage, machinery, merchandise, news, weather. Okay, so those are the frequently used uncountable nouns. Tactic number 2. What is tactic number 2? Okay, so in the book it explains that if you have the verb, let's say, spend, okay, 使う, right? You can, it will be followed by money, time, vacation, something like that, weekend, right? And then you have to look at the context, right? And the words in the sentence. So the example sentence, the doctor gave Mr. Clinton strict to get a lot of rest and refrain from smoking. So here we have a doctor, okay, so doctor. So we're thinking about medical English, medical vocabulary. So you have remedies, prescriptions, instructions, and cures, okay? So to get a lot of rest and refrain from smoking, that sounds like maybe advice, you know, or looks like remedy, no. Prescription, that's something you write down. Instructions, yeah, that looks like it. So strict, right? Kibishi, right? Strict, adjective, followed by instructions, right? So we have an adjective here. So you know that if there's an adjective, keioshi, the next word gonna probably be a noun, okay? And your answers are usually only nouns, okay? But you have to think about, you know, instructions. So 指示ですね. He's instructing, right? He's kind of giving advice, right? But it's strict kind of instructions. You have to do this. You should do this, okay? Remember the auxiliary words, right? You must get a lot of rest. You have to get a lot of rest, right? And refrain from smoking, okay? Okay, so that's the tactics for part 5, okay? So make sure you know that, and then you can complete the skill building exercises, okay? All right, so the next one is the conversation, okay? The Unit 2 conversation, okay? It's a little long, but the sentences are kind of short, okay? So please write them down, and answer the questions in the description of the video. Okay, so let's go. Okay, ready? Unit 2, conversation. Okay. Hi, how may I help you? Yes, how much is a round-trip ticket to the Sunshine Coast? Let me see. A regular adult price is $16. How about a student price? A student ticket will cost you $12, but a go-card is 10% cheaper. A go-card? Yes, it's $10 to activate, but you can recharge it anytime. You can use it on trains and buses and ferries. Oh, sounds good. Can I purchase a go-card, please? Sure. How much do you want on the card? $30. Okay, so that's $10 plus 30, so $40, please. Okay, $40. Okay, here you go. Thank you, and here's your card. Okay, enjoy your trip. Thank you. Okay, so look in the video description, okay? I've deleted some of the words, so make sure you fill in the words and write it down in your notebook, okay? Write it down in your notebook, and as you write down, please try to speak, okay? Hi, how may I help you? Please speak normally. Don't be reading it. Hi, how may I help you? No. So, hi, how may I help you? Yeah. Yes, how much is the round-trip ticket to the Sunshine Coast? Right? Speak naturally. 自然に話しましょう. Okay? If you read, it doesn't sound right, right? So practice speaking, okay? And practice with a friend, okay? All right. The unit questions, unit 2 video conversation questions, okay, are also in the description, okay? I might ask those questions in the speaking test or in the Unit 2 quiz. Okay, that's all for this video. It's a little long, but please go through it again and before Monday. Take notes. If you have any questions, please let me know. See you guys.